Telling your digital story using images and infographics. I love this segment because you need to be telling your story. And how do you do that? That's what the module's about. Hi, everybody. I'm Meg Ormiston, former classroom teacher, and now I help teachers use technology. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a teacher. I taught second grade, third grade, fourth grade, sixth grade, math K-8, computers K-8, a little crazy. And I love to tell my story using pictures. So I'm a teacher first. Most important thing I do a ton of coaching, instructional coaching. I love to get into classrooms and work with teachers. And I'm also an author in my spare time. I'm an author of 7 books, and I'm outlining 3 more at the same time. A little nutty. But that is my life told with pictures. That's what I want to teach you how to do. So let's start off right away with one of my favorite apps of all time. You do have to have an a phone or an iPad for this. It's either 99 cents or $1.99, and it's called Pixie Me. There's Pixie Me and there's Pixie Me Plus. And I love it. They give you a picture, and then you type in what you want it to say, and then it puts it in the picture. That's exactly how I did that. That one, the coaching one, and the skyscraper. There's tons of other ones to pick from too. Love this app. And people tell me if you put them on Facebook, everybody likes them. So love that. Telling your story is not only for pictures, but also about video. Tell your story, and who can't resist a puppy? This is my puppy. My son chased her around the house with his GoPro, and now 4,000 of our closest friends have watched the lovely puppy. So let's kind of get a scope of, really, are people using images to tell their story, images and video? Well, let's get a sense of this. 1 million photos uploaded every day. 1 million. Wow, that's staggering. Well, you think it's staggering. So you think, look at Instagram, approximately 60 million photos every single day. And then you flip over to Facebook. Of course, this is Sonoma's brother, Charlie. 350 million photos. Oh my goodness. It's amazing how many images are out there. Use your images. Snap pictures of your students doing whatever, and start telling your story through pictures. So if you need a little editing, I just threw this in because a lot of people think, oh, I don't have Photoshop, I can't do any editing. Oh, so wrong. I'm all about free. If you watch some of my other videos, I am the queen of free. And this one is a free editor that you can go, it works very similar to Photoshop. I actually haven't found anything that's not, that I need that is not, part of this. I use Photoshop all the time, but I could easily jump over, and free is our favorite word. That is Sonoma when she was a baby. You see, I'm telling my story with my puppy, and Photoshop online free. I don't think it's as good as Pixlr, or what I'm trying to figure out is I think they're merging the two. So that's in my research. I kind of found that, and then this one was noted as one of the apps of the year, but it's $5. Of course, that's nothing when we used to buy software, but it is $5, and I have used it and I like it, but I think I'm totally fine with the Pixlr, or however we're going to say that. I'm totally good there. So there's all different digital tools. So let's say that you collect all these pictures, your students doing cool things, you got them in the science lab doing great things. What do you do with them? Well, there's all different digital tools to put them together to tell your story. So you might tell a couple of stories during the year, and then maybe piece them together as a year in review kind of thing. So let's say that it is, the big science experiment day. You could make a movie in Animoto. Animoto is free, and it gives you different templates to make you look like a rock star. And the good news, too, on Animoto is you can just keep it housed on their website, so you don't have to move big files around and so on and so forth. Or you can go ahead into WeVideo, and WeVideo is great. It doesn't matter what device you're on, a Mac, and anything. It doesn't matter. You can go ahead and create and edit videos. If you are on an iDevice, either a phone or an iPad or a Mac, iMovie's awesome to go ahead and capture the action in your classroom. Remember, it's all about the story. You want to be the one telling the great things that you're doing. This isn't about bragging. This is about showcasing the great things that you're doing with students. This is one of my favorites. I've mentioned in a couple of presentations. Haiku Deck lets you pull everything together in a beautiful visual way. Now, you might want to bring together different types of media. I call that mashing up media, where you bring into all different pieces of media. And this one is kind of a fun one. It's got a big kind of big splash right now, called Blend Space. What's neat about it, if you look on the right side, you can go, like if you do a search on something, you can just drag pieces of media over to your, I forget what they call it, canvas, and then it automatically does the hyperlinking and all of that stuff that would make that hard. And this is another one. I really like ThingLink. What you do is, let's say you take a picture of your classroom. Then what you can do is you can put little buttons in there. Like, for example, if you have a reading corner, you could go ahead and put a click to a library resource or something. So they're hyperlinks that can take students anywhere. It's kind of like a virtual field trip that you can kind of move around, jump around too. Prezi is another way that you can take your pictures and kind of zoom in, zoom out. I have trouble with Prezi. I always admit that. And for me, it almost makes me look dizzy. I get dizzy. Now, you've got these awesome images. Now maybe you put them in together, maybe a movie, maybe not. And now you want to publish your projects. And you want to be able to get them to your parents, to your administrators, and to other educators that might say, wow, that's a great idea. I should try that. So publishing is very important. One quick and easy place to publish is YouTube. And everybody that has a Google account also has a YouTube channel. A lot of people don't realize that. And on your YouTube channel, you can publish your student work, you could do your work, and that way it becomes kind of your video album, your video channel. They call it a channel actually on YouTube, which is pretty neat. So start telling your story on YouTube is one option. And this one is an example of a YouTube channel from a middle school. And they just take either student projects or projects that teachers have shot, and they just upload everything to one channel. What a great way for parents to kind of keep up with what's going on. You know, if you are a parent of a middle school person, you know you have no idea what goes on all day. So now with this, it just is another way for you to communicate with parents what the great things that you're doing. Now, don't forget Facebook. You can Facebook personally, that's one thing, but now you can also Facebook professionally as a school. This is an example of a school that I work with outside of Chicago, and they, I forget how many hundreds of pictures that they have posted to their Facebook page, but this is the way that they're telling their story. You want to be able to kind of contain your story or get it out there. Now, Vimeo. All right, so YouTube. Some people are afraid of YouTube. Don't be. But Vimeo is an option, is another type of video storage. It's very similar to YouTube. I would say that the ads are not as bad as YouTube's, but I can't say that. So just kind of play around with YouTube and Vimeo and see how you feel about it. You might want to start, if you're just starting to tell your story, maybe just stick to still digital images. And then you'll maybe grow into video if you're afraid to do that. Of course, you can always upload your files to Google Drive. And Google Drive can take almost any type of files. So you can just take your images, upload them, and there they are. Of course, Twitter. If you know me face to face, you know that I'm always talking about Twitter because it's a great way to showcase the things that you're doing. So here's an example of a week at, I never can say his school, his whatever name, he's in New York. Tony's awesome. I love following him because I love the way that he tells the story of what's going on in this school. And then every Friday he archives it right here on his Storify page. And that way you can see exactly what's going on. His parents love it. And what a great way. You couldn't put that many pictures in a newsletter. So what a great way to really talk about your story of your school. But why? Why are you doing this? Because you need to control the message of what people are saying about your school, about your classrooms, and by showcasing the cool things. Your parents want to see the cool things that they're doing at school. I love Miss Blake. I watch her. She is a instructional coach at a primary building. She's got that camera out all the time, snapping away, sharing great things. Now there's our old friend Wardle, but she does all different types of projects, but then she captures it and shares it. This is Kathy, the curriculum director. She's just walking around the building, snapping away. Here's the assistant principal. She's telling the story in 140 characters or fewer. I love this one. When I introduced this to this teacher, she's like, I can't see a reason for using that. She is so funny to follow because she loves it. She's got that camera out all the time. She was doing the same thing in preschool before, but now she gets to tell her story, which is really cool. So we've hit still images, we've hit video, and we've also hit how to publish them. We touched a little bit on social media. Some of our other ones go much deeper into social media. But now I want to tackle a word that might even be new to you called an infographic. Don't freak out. I know it looks visually, it's a little much, but a infographic is a visual representation of data. Now, I had to put this in because I've never seen something so funny. Really? Really? Is there such a day? Well, maybe there is. But what this is basically a different way for you to tell your story through images, through data, and it doesn't all have to be serious, serious stuff. I want you to be thinking about creating your own infographic about you. I started, and it's not as easy as it looks. So this one is really cool. This is what they're calling now infographic resume. This is an infographic resume that this person made. I love this. So she started making this and started making her resume this way. And then she started a company to help other people do it. I thought, wow, that's awesome. And I'm telling you, if you Google infographics, hers pops up everywhere. It's really amazing. A lot of people are kind of getting on this bandwagon if they're looking for jobs. But even if you're not and you're happy as can be, creating an infographic really makes you think about different data. For example, let's say that you are a knitter. You like to knit. Estimate how many things you've knit, how many stitches you've done, whatever. And that might be one piece of data. You might put in how old you are no, you don't have to put in how old you are. I was going to say in dog years. But you can think of all different ways that you can represent data within your infographic. So this is a Lauren. This is a way to contact me and so on. And I thought this was great. This is just a piece of her infographic. The rest of it I couldn't quite click through, so I wasn't sure what was happening there. Imagine you in something like that. I looked at that, I'm like, wow, that's really an interesting visual. But the key is that you boil down and pick different data points that they don't all have to be serious. You can, I love to read. I'm a crazy reader. How many estimated words do I read? How many books a year? Things like that. I worked with a group and we made infographics. I had the librarian do her circulation for the year. That was interesting. Nonfiction versus fiction and how many books were in circulation. And then she was new to the position. And then they compared and contrast to like the past 3 years. It was amazing to see the data trend, which is interesting. This one was very attractive to me, but I couldn't make it any bigger, so I do apologize for that. But I was thinking, maybe I could make a resume like that. So I'm actually going to be working on that this weekend. You can find infographics everywhere, but of course, the biggest place to find them, Pinterest. Now that you know what an infographic is, you will see them everywhere because it's a very visual way. I just read one article as I was doing this research that by putting it, like Greg, for example, by putting that in an infographic form, 35% more people are going to read it than if it was just a traditional resume. I'm like, that's interesting. And if you were searching for a job, that would be really interesting. or one of your sons or daughters. This is interesting. Depending on the numbers, the boxes get larger and smaller. I was like, whoa, I don't even know how that works. But this one is kind of a neat one. The internet in real time. I always look at this and I think, wow, it's just amazing how much is going on online. I always think, don't these people have jobs? What are they doing? But maybe that is their job. All right, so infographics, visual representation of data is really kind of the basic term. And to get started, there's a whole bunch of places that you can go to get started. Pictochart is one of those places, and we'll come back to Pictochart because I want to show you some of the other ones. And these are all on your list. Here's another one, Venngage, I think I'm saying. And that one is, this is new to me. This one is new to me. There's a whole bunch of them, but what I want to notice is look across the top, pricing. Almost every single one of these that I'm going to show you, there's a free piece and then there's the upgrade. And so just know, a lot of them get you by, oh, here, free, come on in. But then if you want to export it or download it or create it as a final thing, oh, by the way, you can pay for it. Be careful as you go ahead and look at some of these. Canva I've used pretty extensively on the free world, and I have been very, that has worked really well for me. I didn't realize until I started doing my research for this segment is they have a whole templates, a whole series of templates just for infographics. So I thought that was interesting. Infogram, I think it is. Now, I really like this, and I used it last summer, but when I went back in, it looks like there's some changing in pricing. So again, kind of look around as you look at these different ones. Again, this one is new to me. I looked at the video, and I'm like, ooh, I think this looks good. But the pricing, I think, very quickly. It's free to get started. It was super easy, but I don't know how quickly they would say, hey, put in your credit card, which of course we don't want to do. And this one's been around a while, and this one has a lot of really nice graphics in it. I thought it was very easy to use. So those, don't worry about writing all those down. Those are all on the handout that comes with the lesson. So then you could go back and explore. What I wanted to do is give you my entry level one, which is Pictochart. To me, this one is the quickest and easiest to get started. I'm not saying, the other ones aren't great. This one, I just know that I have been successful creating an infographic without upgrading to the premium. They have free and they have premium templates that are available. I think the ones that are, can't tell if it's the ones with the little corner that are the premium ones or those the free ones. But you look, there's templates for everything with colors. And the cool part is, actual designers made these. So the colors are balanced and I don't have to just kind of guess. So digital, video, infographic, I don't care. You need to tell your story and you need to make sure everybody knows the great things that are going on in your classrooms. So thanks. I'm Meg. Please, you are always welcome to contact me. You want me to go deeper into something? You want me to clarify? I love to hear from you. So Meg at megormiston.com. So here's my challenge for you. I want you to pick an infographic or just your camera roll on your phone. I want you to start telling your story. It's not bragging. It's celebrating the great things you're doing in your classroom. Thanks.